terrorists stormed a police compound in Pakistan's port city of Karachi yesterday, killing 3 security force members and 1 civilian. 19 security force members were also wounded in the attack. After an intense gun battle, 2 terrorists were neutralized, while 1 terrorist blew himself up. At around 7:10 p.m. last evening, heavily armed Pakistani Taliban terrorists attacked the Karachi Police Chief's office. The siege lasted for at least 3.5 hours, with fierce gunfire raging on between the terrorists and security forces. According to the police officials, one of the attackers blew himself up on the building's 4th floor, while 2 others were shot dead on the roof. At the time of the attack, the city police chief, who was on the radar of the terrorists, was not in Karachi. Karachi police have issued a statement that the 5-story building and the surrounding areas have been cleared of the terrorists completely. Meanwhile, the dreaded Pakistan Taliban terror group has claimed responsibility for the attack. According to reports, the TTP has increased attacks on police in northwest of Pakistan in recent months. This is part of its campaign against the government in Islamabad.
हमारे पास जो टोटल 22 कैजुअल्टीज आई हैं, जिसमें 4 जो है एहलकार वो शहीद हो गए और बाकी जो है वो इंजर्ड है। एक का ऑपरेशन जारी है जो है कैजुअल्टी में, और जो बाकी जिनको जो इंजरीज है उनको हमने उनके ही कंसर्न वार्ड्स में एडमिट कर दिया है, वो दाखिल हैं हमारे पास।
Let's talk more about this, and joining us now is Omer Altaf from Islamabad. Omer is a political analyst and also a journalist. Omer, good to see you and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
This is the 3rd major attack by the TTP targeting Pakistan's interior security system. Similar attacks were carried out by the terrorist group in 2011 and 2014. Why do terrorists attack this specific police post? What's the message they want to pass across, or what's their motive?
Ever since the talks broke down between the TTP and the government of Pakistan, the attacks have intensified. And the attacks on security forces have particularly intensified all across Pakistan. The police was attacked in Peshawar last month, where over 100 people were killed, and there has been a suicide attack in Islamabad as well. Now this, so the TTP has declared its intentions of targeting the law enforcement agencies and security forces of Pakistan. And now this attack is a major escalation on part of the TTP attacking Karachi, where the PSL is being hosted as well, where international players have arrived to participate in the Pakistan Super League. So now the security forces and the government need to sit down and see and chalk out a plan to tackle the banned TTP, because this is a terror group which has shown no leniency or regard for human life. So they need to be dealt with, and security forces have in past carried out successful operations against this terror group. Now there needs to be a clear strategy. The government needs to come up with a clear strategy to tackle Taliban and deal with this menace of terrorism, because Pakistan cannot afford another wave of terrorism. This is going to ravage the economy, which is already under considerable strain.
Omer, now that you've mentioned the ceasefire agreement which was brokered between the TTP and the government, and it broke down, Karachi has for some time now not witnessed any major incident. So what changed? Why target Karachi now?
I think that TTP is trying to target the security forces throughout the country. So that's Karachi is a major center. You attack Karachi, it brings you international headlines. Karachi is central to the economic prosperity of Pakistan. So attacking Karachi does give a very powerful message on the part of the banned Taliban. But the government, I think with the provincial governments, the federal government and the Pakistan Army and other law enforcement agencies would obviously now chalk down a strategy to deal with this, because this cannot be allowed. It's clearly visible that TTP has regained its ability to attack key installations. So that this is now Pakistan entering into a new wave of terrorism. It's better that things are dealt with in a timely manner before this gets out of hand. So that is how the Pakistanis should respond to this terror group.
All right, let's talk about the mosque attack. And authorities in Peshawar believe the January 30th attack was in retaliation for the police force's role on the front line of Pakistan's battle with a resurgent insurgency since the Taliban returned to power across the border in Afghanistan. Any comment about that?
This obviously, TTP has clearly indicated that it's going to launch attacks on security forces. So everyone should be ready for that. The government, the law enforcement agencies, the intelligence agencies, because they can't take these attacks lying back. The TTP hideouts need to be dismantled, which happen to be in around the Pak-Afghan border. And if TTP is getting any support from Afghan Taliban, this should be taken up with the Afghan Taliban. It's not a government that even Pakistan recognizes, but Pakistan has communication links with them. So even if this fight has to be taken to Afghanistan, it needs to be done. And that Afghan territory cannot be used to launch attacks against Pakistan or it shouldn't act as a sanctuary for militants attacking Pakistan. So all of these things need to be looked at the military front as well and the diplomatic front as well. So, and I think the state of Pakistan in recent days and weeks has chalked out a strategy. There have been National Security Committee meetings attended by the Prime Minister and the Army Chief. And now the provincial Apex Committee Apex committees have also become functional again. So all the stakeholders need to sit down and come up with a proper plan and eradicate terrorism once and all from the soil of Pakistan.
Omer, I want us to stick to your last point. And all said and done, the government of Pakistan has condemned the latest attack. But what will it take for the authorities to tame or even control these terror groups like the TTP?
The condemnations aren't enough. There has to be a full-scale military operation. The fight needs to be taken down to the hideouts where these terror groups operate from, and the intelligence network needs to be strengthened so that these attacks can be preempted and then prevented. So I think Pakistani government and its law enforcement agencies are fully capable of dealing with this menace of terrorism, as they have shown in the past as well, when successful military operations were launched and terrorism to a very large extent was rooted out from Pakistan. So it's sad that these terror groups have been allowed to resurface, but still, it's possible that these TTP is decimated by the Pakistani security forces. Yeah.
Live from Islamabad, Omer Altaf, thank you for talking to WION today.
Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.